Good day and welcome to Technology and Livelihood Education, Technical Drafting 10, Quarter 2, Module 5, Drafting Front Elevations. Upon completion of this lesson, you are expected to number 1, enumerate the commands used in drawing elevation, number 2, draw front elevation, and number 3, develop a deeper understanding of the importance of elevation. For our review, I will show you pictures of before and after CAD drawing, and you will identify the command used in these drawings. I will give you 10 seconds per drawing. Are you ready?
Which command was used for these pictures? Your 10 seconds starts now. Was your answer correct?
Legendary!
We will now proceed to our next picture. Which command was used for these pictures? Your 10 seconds starts now. Was your answer correct?
Unstoppable!
We will now proceed to our next picture. Which command was used for these pictures? Your 10 seconds starts now. Was your answer correct?
Monster
We will now
kill!
proceed to our next picture. Which command was used for these pictures? Your 10 seconds starts now. Was your answer correct?
Impossible!
We will now proceed to our next picture. Which command was used for these pictures? Your 10 seconds starts now. Was your answer correct?
Victory!
That you've already mastered our past lesson. Before we discuss our new lesson, I will first show you a figure we use in geometry. Do you recognize this figure? If your answer is a cube, you are right. It is a cube. Let us analyze this cube. How many faces does a cube have? If your answer is 6, you are correct. Why do we have to analyze a cube? Because, much like a cube, a house has its faces, and one of its faces is the front elevation. It seems that I am always talking about front elevation, but what is front elevation? Just like in an experiment in science, we will dissect these words in order to understand the meaning of these words. The first word is front. Front is the side or part of an object that presents itself to view or that is normally seen or used first. This is the most forward part of something. The second word is an elevation. An elevation is a rise or the raising of something. For example, mountains have an elevation based on how high they are. Elevation tells how high something is raised above the surface or ground line. If we combine these words, the front elevation is a straight-on view of the house as if you were looking at it from a spot on the front yard. It is also called an entry elevation. The front elevation shows the home features such as entry doors, windows, the front porch, and any items that protrude from the home such as side porches and chimneys. This is an example of a front elevation. As you can see, it shows the design, height, and materials and finish used in making the house. This is the front elevation we are going to draw using AutoCAD. Before we use our computer, here are the safety reminders before and after use of the computer. The first one is handle the computer with extra care. Next, no food and drinks near the computer. 3. Keep your files in good order. Log off properly after every use. Unplug computer when not in use. And last, always save your work. Other reminders for the measurement used in AutoCAD. The first one, we are using millimeters in our drawings. The numbers in millimeters are in thousands because 1000 millimeters is equal to 1 meter. Today I'm going to teach you how to make or draft a front elevation plan. For our first step, we'll open our AutoCAD. You can see here, I have already opened my AutoCAD. For our second step, we are going to open our ground floor plan. And as you can see here, I have already opened my ground floor plan. For our next step, we are going to zoom in on our ground floor plan. We are going to use XL for extension lines and type V for vertical. We will select the 3 sides or 3 posts that we need that will be shown on our elevation plan. I will zoom or pan on the lower side of our ground floor plan because we will draw our ground floor plan, our elevation plan here. For our next step, we are going to type REC or rectangle and select one side of our extension line. We will select dimension or type dimension and type 7,500 by 3,000. As you can see here, I have already made my rectangle. For our next step, we are going to trim out the excess extension lines. We are going to select our rectangle and our extension lines and select enter. We will trim out the top side and the bottom side of our extension line. There. I have already removed my extension line. For our next step, we are going to explode our rectangle AX to have 4 different lines like this one. For our next step, we are going to use offset of 100 and select each side of our walls. You can see here I have already made my post. Next, we are going to type REC and select the inside of our left wall. Select dimension and type 3050 by next step, rectangle again or REC. Select the outside wall, type dimension or select dimension, and we are going to use 1000 length by 200. For the other side, we are going to repeat the previous step. For our next step, we are going to use rectangle again. And this time, we will select the inside of our left side. and type 3050 by 13. This will serve as a design for our house or front elevation plan. We'll make another rectangle on the right side of our elevation plan. Type 4150 by 1500. For the next step, we are going to use ADC. Select a door for our front elevation. Select uniform scale, and we will use a scale of 30. We will drag our door inside of our elevation plan and select a window for our elevation and type 45 of scale and 90 angle. Okay, and we will use this our elevation. Close our or design center. It seems my rectangle is cancelled. So I will once again make another rectangle dimension 4150 by 1005. I will move this window to the middle side of our and type CO to copy this window to the other side of our front elevation. Okay. Now we will use trim to trim out the excess lines of our drawing. There. And trim out our unnecessary line. For our next step, we are going to use hatch for each for the design of our house. I am going to use ARB 816 for the bricks and the size is 10. Select the ones that you will have the design of bricks, and if you are satisfied with that, select enter. Now, we will go to the roof side of our house. For our roof, I'm going to use line and select the upper right side of our house and make an overhang of 1000. Line again for the other side. 1000. Now, use another overhang or make another overhang on this side of our house. Select enter, and now we will use extension lines again, but this time we are going to use for PNG for angular. And we will type 30 for the angle of our roof. And for the other side of our roof, we are going to use XL again, angular, and we will type 330. There. We will trim out the excess lines that we don't need. Enter and trim out. can see here, we can visualize our roof now. I have an excess line to delete that. Now, we are going to type O for offset, and we are going to use a 100 and drag those row of lines inside. Select enter, and we are going to trim out the excess lines again. Select our roof, the lines, our Now we have our roof. For our next step, we are going to use hatch again, and we are going to ARRSHK and use size of 20. This will serve as our roof design. You can see here, we have already completed our house. Going to zoom out, there. What else do we need? The dimensions. So we are going to make dimensions by typing dim line or dim L. Select the sides of our house that needs dimensions. Another one for the there. Now we are going to add the annotations of our house or front elevation plan. We are going to use line and circle. For our text, we are going to type MT and enter for text. Select the sides that we want our text to be. Type our front elevation. Select all and type our size. We have here our front elevation, and we're going to use or copy this and drag it down, drag it, make our editing easier. For this one, to change our text, double click our text and type scale 1. Next one is supposed to be F, G, L, and N, L. This is our finished product. We have already made our front elevation. Thank you for bearing with me. Draft your own front elevation by using these commands. XL plus VER is vertical extension lines. REC is for rectangle. TR is for trim. O is for offset. ADC is for design center. M is for move. CO is for copy. H is for hatch. DIML is equal to dimension line. MT is used for text. This is the table on how your CAD drawing will be scored. In order for you to have a perfect score in this plate, for 20 points, your drawing should be 100% complete. For another 20 points, you have used the correct layers, including the correct line types and colors required for the lines in the drawing. For another 20 points, you have used the correct title block, correct information, correct use of layers, correct format for information, and drawing should be plotted in a readable size. For another 20 points, you have to have no errors in construction. For another 20 points, you have to follow the dimensioning standards by creating clear and organized dimensions that fully define the object. On overall, you will have 100 points for this plate. Submit your CAD drawing by messaging my Facebook account, JusalaiLadyAlberba, or sending your CAD drawing by emailing jusalaiLady.alberba@deped.gov.ph, or lastly, uploading your CAD drawing to tinyurl.com/front elevation plan, or scan the QR code below. Before having your quiz, let us first review the lesson by expressing the importance of having a front elevation plan in a building plan by associating the phrase, "Don't judge a book by its cover," to the front elevation design of a house. Record your answer and submit to our group chat, Technical Drafting 10. To measure your knowledge in this lesson, I have chosen different parts of our front elevation, and you will have to identify which command is used in these pictures. You will have 10 seconds for answering each question. Are you ready?
Which command was used for these pictures? Your 10 seconds starts now. Which command was used for these pictures? Your 10 seconds starts now. Which command was used for these pictures? Your 10 seconds starts now. Which command was used for these pictures? Your 10 seconds starts now. Which command was used for these pictures? Your 10 seconds starts now.
These are the correct answers for each question. Number 1, hatch. Number 2, rectangle. Number 3, ADC. Number 4, dimensions. And number 5, text.
Was your answer correct?
Victory!
Congratulations! You have finished answering Technical Drafting 10 Quarter 2 Module 5 Drafting Front Elevations. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and thank you for watching. Bye!